Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Serge T, and in this video I'll be talking about Money in the Bank 2024 for the date of July 6, 2024, and 19,858 are in Toronto tonight. Great crowd, a great number, and the Bloodline arrive, and what chaos will follow as they face Cody, Randy Orton, and KO. And will Cody acknowledge the tribal chief tonight? And Trish Stratus arrives in style and looking good as usual. Can't complain. Trish looks good for her age. And Seth arrives playing cat's cradle with a yo-yo. Been a long time since I played with a yo-yo, but I was able to do a lot of them tricks. And he looks like he's doing that, I guess, because he's in a playful mood. I guess he's ready to go. And Priest and the Judgment Day are here as well. Now let's start off with the first match, and that is the Money in the Bank qualifier for the men. And Jay is out first and comes to the crowd and has all of Toronto yeeting. Andrade, mask and all, makes his presence known as he walks that aisle and could easily grab that briefcase. And according to the commentators, he is the dark horse here. I agree. LA Knight, yeah, throws superstition to the wind, or caution to the wind, as he goes underneath the ladder. He ducks underneath. Remember when Jeff Hardy did that back in the day? And it's just like, it's kind of, you're like kind of wishing bad luck on you. But I guess we all know he's fearless, and that's why he did it. But now, can he do what he failed to do last year? You know, he came close, and he was a favorite to win Money in the Bank last year. And let's see how he does this year. Master Gable looks to become Master in the Bank and will participate in his first Money in the Bank. And surprisingly, this is his first ever ladder match. I would think that he would have been in a ladder match in his career at least. I mean, not once. But then again, he has been somebody who has been not featured a lot in recent years. But recently, he's been featured a lot. So we're going to see more matches like this for him. Yeah, we had Shorty G. He was a part of the tag team with American Alpha with Jason Jordan. Don't think they participated in ladder matches, and there's a lot of ladder matches for titles that have happened with the tag team. So I don't know why he was never in a tag team. I mean, in a ladder match. And will Mello be Money as he shows up, but will he show out as him? Looks to become Mr. Money in the Bank. And the Scottish Warrior, Psychopath, whatever you choose to call him, perhaps after this match, we will be calling him Mr. Money in the Bank. And Cole says that these men have an 80% chance of successfully cashing in. No, the success of the past was 80%. Everyone has a 100% chance of winning this match. Cashing in? I don't know, it's been, 80%. That's been the success rate. That doesn't mean that they have a 80% chance of successfully cashing in. That's the, I guess I don't know if I could kind of understand what he's trying to say, but at the same time, that doesn't make sense, because it's like, that's not your chance. That's the thing in the past. Men have only had an 80% chance of successfully cashing in, not the people that are in the match now, and then they only have an 80% chance of winning. Everybody has a 100% chance of cashing in. The success rate, 80%. I don't know, maybe that's what he means. But it kind of comes off like, no, that's not the case, because everybody has a 100% chance. I might be, reading it wrong, but that's how it comes off to me. What do you want to say? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you, it's like, what do you want from me? Kind of thing. And the holy shit spot, as this match goes on, as Andrade delivers an inverted Spanish fly off the second rope onto a ladder. For he and, believe that was, Mello. And then the leader of the Yeet movement spears McIntyre in half and clears the field with super kicks. And Gable shows us why he is the master as he German suplexes Mello and a few others and sets up the ladder as the crowd chant, "You still suck." I mean, he was doing some sick spots and some great moves in there, but people weren't impressed. They still said, "You suck. You still suck." Now, I am picking Jay to win, to win this. He has the momentum, and the Yeet movement is growing and growing. So he is the one I got. Who you got? Who do you got, guys? But another 6 spot as Knight causes Andrade to sunset flip Mello off the ladder onto a prone ladder setup, a ladder bridge that goes from the apron to the announce desk. I'm thinking LA Knight is going to feel that. He might even be injured. I'm thinking a lot of these guys might be injured. There might end up being lingering injuries that take them out for a while. The ladder match, I don't think, or even the Money in the Bank one especially, doesn't leave anybody unscathed. I think everybody feels it, but then there are some that's going to be injured and out because of it. And Gable is about to unhook the briefcase, but Jay comes in and stops Gable. But he is still holding on to it. I'm like, now what? But he does fall, and Jay awaits and spears him, and will Oos pull down the briefcase. But as he has it in his grasp, he is knocked down by McIntyre and is on the receiving end of a claymore, which leaves Drew alone. And he pulls down the briefcase and is the new Mr. Money in the Bank. Now, will he try to cash in tonight? He's been promising that. He's been threatening that on either Priest or Rollins, or maybe even Cody Rhodes, as he may be ready for the picking after his match with the Bloodline. Now, the next match for the Intercontinental Championship, as champion Sami Zayn defends against Bron Breaker. Now, out first is Bron Breaker, who many feel may cut through the champ and easily win this. But Sami is resilient and has overcome all kinds of odds. Now, Zayn has this crowd in his corner and may be the motivation to get him through this match and be victorious. Bron is dominant at the outset and is imposing his will as brought up by Cole, that in an interview he said that this isn't a usual veteran versus rookie match because he is going to destroy Zayn, and so far he's on that road to do just that. Now, Sami avoids a charging Breaker who is sent to the outside, and Zayn springboards off the top rope and lands on Breaker with his leg or shin, connecting and taking his opponent down. See, very resourceful and using his wits first and his athleticism next. But Zayn should have avoided the oncoming freight train as the 23-mile-an-hour man goes off the ropes and Steiner lines the champ and takes control of this match. But it's going back and forth, and Zayn ain't going to lay down for Bron. He has to earn this win over the champ. And outside and inside, all kinds of offense being seen and capped off by a Blue Thunder Bomb, which only gets Sami a near fall. And a stunning Frankensteiner off the top rope by Bron. It's always a beautiful sight and well executed. It's just amazing how he does that. It's like when LA Knight just jumps to the top, top turnbuckle or top rope. It's like this guy has athleticism for days. It's just like, guy's amazing. But after Bron delivers a clothesline onto a prone Zayn on the announce desk, sees the champ deliver an exploder on the outside of the ring, setting Bron up for the Helluva Kick, but Breaker kills that noise with a high knee, dropping Zayn. But a spear attempt by Bron gets stopped, and now Sami Zayn again sets up for the Helluva Kick and connects and pins Breaker, and survives yet another tough challenge. A very good match. Very, very physical. These guys really, really gelled well. You got the imposing power of Bron Breaker and the resilience and survival techniques or tactics of Sami Zayn, which he's always done his whole career. Very, very good match. It started off with a great Money in the Bank ladder match. I tell you, this pay-per-view really lived up to the hype, and it was very good. And as I go along, I'm going to let you know that this may have been their best PLE this year. Maybe even better than last year's, and everybody lauded that and thought that was great too. The women's match last year was great. The one that outshined. Will that be the case here? You'll find out as I go along. Now, Bad Blood, there's a blast from the past, is returning October the 5th of this year. This is the first time in 27 years to the day. And it's the site of the very first Hell in a Cell with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and the debut of a certain fiery individual. Well, the younger brother of Undertaker, Kane. I remember that. I didn't realize it was that far back. Bad Blood. I could have thought it would have at least debuted. I mean, not debuted, but been on at least another couple times after that. But that was the last time. I mean, they were transitioning to other PLE type events and stuff like that, so they didn't really need it. Hell in a Cell became its own pay-per-view, and these other pay-per-views, that these other matches that were just featured matches in major PLEs became their own. So maybe they didn't have enough room for Bad Blood anymore. Maybe it just didn't matter, because at that time, Bad Blood, wasn't it during the Attitude Era? Wasn't it during that time where you needed that type of a theme pay-per-view? I don't know if there's going to be blood. I don't know if they've gone back to lifting that thing and saying, okay, we can allow some blood, you know. But that's going to be good. I wonder what's going to be featured in that to make it worthwhile to want to watch it. You had the Hell in a Cell, the first one, in Kane's debut, you know. Now, are we having fun? Says Trish Stratus. She comes out on the stage, and she has history in Toronto. She became a 2-time champ there and had a retirement match there. She faced Queen Charlotte Flair, and she became a surprise partner for a 16-time world champion. I'm like, no, don't bring out Flair. Anything by him, please no. But in fact, it was John Cena. Now, he holds up that towel that he has, and it says, "The last time is now." The last time is now? What does that mean? And then he nods to affirm it. Kind of thinking, okay, interesting. And then we see, as he's in the ring, he has it written all over his shirt. Is he alluding to retiring? I mean, we see on it says, "After this, you can't see me." And then the last time is now. Like, you know the usual logo he has, right? He says, "You can't see me." And then it says that. It just adds those letters to it. And like I said, those things are readable on his shirt. I don't know how that's going to be a big seller. I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Now he confirms it, and yes, it's time, I guess. So best of luck to him, and Godspeed, John. It's like, you are indeed one of the greats. Like, what else am I going to add about his accolades and stuff like that, you know? But yes, he talks, and he says his last will be the Royal Rumble 2025. Elimination Chamber will be his last. And in Las Vegas, WrestleMania 2025 will be the last WrestleMania he will compete in. And he is thankful to us, and the universe thanks him back. And he puts out a challenge asking us and any superstar in WWE, if you want some, hurry up and come get some, because the last time is now. I'm like, wow, you know. I mean, is it expected? Sure. We've been saying that he's going to retire anytime soon. Maybe his last appearance was the last time he wrestled for WWE. But here it is. He's putting it out there. At least we're going to see him in a number of matches before he goes. I mean, it's his retirement, but he's not ending quite yet. He's not stepping away quite yet. But I think he's done his time. He's given everything that the most that he can give. He's done everything. He's won everything. Right? Every title, every special match. Right? I think it's time for him to go, and he's going to go out with a bang. And 2025 is going to be a lot of fun seeing what he does. Will he win the Royal Rumble? Will he win the Elimination Chamber? Will he be challenging for the WWE Championship or even the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania? Win the title in his last match, go out 17-0 and beat Flair's record, because they're both tied. Charlotte Flair's around the corner. She's still going, so she's going to win more championships. You know, when she comes back, she's going to have a title match already, because that's just how it is with her. You know, that's how they book her. I got no problem with Charlotte. I just got a problem with her booking. It's like with Sasha Banks, like with some of these others. I don't have a problem with them. Their booking is the one that's shitty. It's like it's too, what do you call it, on their side. It makes them look like, okay, they're the favorite one, but everybody else is like, oh, what about us, right? Now backstage, Priest tells his boys in Judgment Day not to interfere, all of that. And that's regardless, even if Drew McIntyre gets involved. And Balor is heard saying, whatever you say, boss. I mean, he is starting to show that he's kind of getting fed up with Damian Priest. He doesn't want to tell him yet. He doesn't even allude to it when he's talking to him. He has a defiant nature sometimes, tells him straight up, and then Priest has to kind of calm him down and go, hey, dude, it's not like that, And then they hug it out, however you want to say it, call each other amigo or, what was that, brother and all that stuff, right? And kind of calms each other down. Now, next up is the World Heavyweight Championship match pitting the former and inaugural World Champion Seth Rollins against the reigning and defending World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest. Now, these two men brought up are the only ones who successfully cashed in at WrestleMania, and Seth was cashed in on in 2019 here in Toronto by Brock Lesnar. And Rollins calls out Drew as he is in control in taking it to the champ. And after 3 suicide dives, he ends up driving Priest over the announce desk. And inside, Rollins springboards on the top rope and delivers a swanton. Rarely see that out of him. And then he springboards and delivers a moonsault for a near fall. He's pulling out all these stops and trying to throw Damian off because he probably thinks he knows what Rollins is going to do and how he's going to come at him. And he switched it up. Pretty good on him. And now a frog splash delivers, but a near fall by Rollins. And before that, a twister neck breaker by Priest. It's like whatever that was, it was really just, it could have been messy. It wasn't, but still, it's like, what was he going for? And that's what set up the whole thing of Rollins being able to be in a position to deliver a frog splash. Now, a slapfest turns into a slugfest. And Priest gets the upper hand and delivers kicks, but Rollins gives it back. But Priest goes for a South of Heaven, but Rollins turns that into an attempted pedigree. And eventually sees Rollins delivering a stomp, but not all of it. He just glances, his foot just glances his head. He's able to put him down. But as that result of, I think it was weak. And it got a near fall. And the champ Priest somehow weathers a punishment from Paul Rollins and delivers the Razor's Edge, but gets a near fall, and a visibly frustrated Priest is beside himself. And Rollins shows he has a little bit of that architect in him. People might say that he's lost his touch and can't deliver like he used to, but he does deliver a superplex. But as he goes for the Falcon Arrow, Priest stops it, and Seth reverses an attempted suplex from the champ and delivers a Falcon Arrow, completing the move that we normally see him do, but he gets a near fall. A lot of near falls. A lot of back and forth between these guys. Great matchup between the two. But Priest didn't get the shoulder up. Perhaps the ref wasn't supposed to count to 3, but anyway, forget about that as Drew comes out. There's a lot of reports that are saying that Priest didn't roll his shoulder or move, get his shoulder up because the referee was supposed to, they're supposed to cue the music. Referee is supposed to be like 1, 2, music cues, and he gets distracted and looks towards the stage because the music, what's going on? The music's on. You could even see Seth kind of reacting to that way. And it's just like a miscue by the production staff and the referee because he wasn't rolling his shoulder. He wasn't in and out of that, so he had to stop. And it looked very awkward. It's just like, okay, why did you stop? The people going, I'm pretty sure people, if they were watching it on replay, I did. I'm like, fast forward, let me see. No, that didn't need for him to stop. So what was going on? I thought his shoulder was all the way to the mat, and maybe he noticed it. It's one of those things. And well, Drew, he did promise on X and that he was going to cash in. And why do I feel that CM Punk may screw him out of this as well? But Drew connects with a Future Shock DDT, sets up the Claymore, but Priest intercepts him. And yes, folks, Punk is here. Did you think he was not? Payback is a bitch, and karma is one as well. Punk takes out Drew, chair shots and all, and finally uses the title belt. He takes a look at the title belt, goes, I got an idea, gets up on the apron, waits for Drew to be locked in and ready, and ready to receive a belt shot, and he delivers. He uses the title belt to whack Drew one in the ring, sets up Priest to deliver South of Heaven, and he retains his World Heavyweight Championship, and he is not pleased with that because people keep saying he uses the Judgment Day to help him win his titles or defend his title, retain his title. They weren't there, they didn't interfere, but then Punk did. And I'm like, well, here's a thought. If Drew won, would that mean that Priest is out of the Judgment Day and Rollins can no longer challenge for the world title? But then again, it was as long as Priest was champ, so it would have only affected Priest, I guess. I don't know. Kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a thing that is thrown in there, the monkey wrench is thrown in there when you have these cash-ins and it's a triple threat match. No rules, that's why Punk was able to do what the hell ever he wanted to do. And then we see Rollins is furious with Punk and is approaching him, but Graves stops him as he is a longtime friend of Seth. He doesn't want him to do anything rash. There's a time and place for that, I'm sure. Wow. It's like, the thing about it is that Seth wasn't pinned. He might have a case to bring up to Adam Pearce. Hey, I wasn't pinned. Wasn't it said that if he lost the match, but he didn't lose it per se, he didn't get pinned? Might be a little bit of a, kind of a thing there where you can kind of go around the contract and go around the rules kind of thing. Maybe he has he could probably have a shot. Again, a fair shot. Because there's going to be no threat of a Money in the Bank cash-in. So you might give it to him. Now, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match may go down as one of the greatest Money in the Bank matches. Forget that it's the women's match. All around. Maybe right up there with the other matches. The men's match was good, but for some reason, whoever produced this match brought a lot out of these ladies. And you can see what they were trying to do to make this match even more than it should be. These ladies, they showed up and they showed out. Now, first out is Naomi, and she's glowing, as always. And we all feeling it too. Second up is Zoe Stark, who beat Dakota and Ivy to advance to this match. My favorite live of Valkyria is here, and it's 10 years ago this day when she first set foot in a wrestling ring. I thank God for that, because then we wouldn't have had her here and we wouldn't be seeing her in all her glory, killing it every time. And I'm thinking, I hope she wins tonight. And then it's Tiffy Time as Tiffany Stratton is prepared to become Miss Money in the Bank, and she can do so perhaps at the expense of an old foe, Lyra, whom she beat for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. So there is a lot of history between the two. I believe it's when Indy came to the main roster, she had to give up her title, and that's the reason why it was put up for grabs. It was vacated. Now it's Chelsea Green. I like how her theme song says that shit. And I think wasn't it on Friday Night SmackDown that Mike Rome tried saying that, yeah, you got to give it to him. He tried to, but even me, I kind of botched that thing because no one does it like the lovely Samantha Urban, and she did look beautiful tonight. I mean, she does every night, but there was some little extra special something there that she did for Money in the Bank because, wow, you know what I mean? And like I said, Chelsea Green, as the Karen of WWE, graces us with her annoying presence. And I say that with all due respect, because that's her character. I don't think she does that as much. She really laid it on thick when she first came out. Kind of like that now, but at the same time, a little bit more of an advancement past that, but she still is annoying. But she does it in the right way. I love seeing her. And kind of like was pulling for her here. Like, there was moments, but we'll get to that. Now, Io looks to be the first woman to go back-to-back as Miss Money in the Bank. She won last year, looking to do what CM Punk, who at this point was the only one to ever do that, and he did that all the way back in 2008 and 2009. And I feel that Io may repeat. I mean, I did say Chelsea, but I'm like, don't count out Chelsea, who could be a surprise winner this year. She could be. And she was trying to jump up and get the briefcase because she's afraid of heights, as Cole pointed out. And then she gets the ladder, but finds it difficult to climb it. I mean, come on, Chelsea. That is the only way to get it done. It's like, suck it up and face your fears. But she tries to knock it down with the ladder. I'm like, this girl is silly. What are you doing, Chelsea? But she decides to knock down Naomi. She's like, I got this ladder. Naomi's trying to get up on the apron. I'm going to knock her out. Knock her off. And she does off the apron instead. But Io connects with a missile drop kick and drops Green. She gets into it with Tiffy. But Lyra drop kicks Io onto the ladder in the corner and slips as she looks to deliver a tornado DDT. She recovers and connects with it and looks to set the ladder up and retrieve the briefcase. But Zoe hits that twisting drop kick and stops Lyra's progress. They both trade offense, and Zoe goes off the top rope springboard and ends up slamming her own head onto the mat, perhaps the ladder. I think she caught it. I'm like, ow. Like, hope she's okay after that. She might have a little bit of ringing in her ears after that, or a mild concussion. Maybe not. It looked like it. She sold it, so, you know. And Stratton does the Alabama slam-like maneuver and slams Naomi onto a ladder. And that's what I like about these women, is that when they perform a move, they make sure to plant their opponent onto a ladder. And that's how you do it. You got to make this match look as physical and as dangerous as possible. And whoever produced this match probably hinted that at every one of these ladies. Said, hey, make it look impactful. And that's how they're doing it. And the crowd are chanting Tiffy Time as Tiffy smiles in agreement. And talk about Tiffy Time. She yells out as she climbs the ladder, set up in the corner, and delivers a swanton onto the field of competitors outside of the ring. And I'm like, damn, she is fun to watch, isn't she? And Lyra, man, she was all but out of it as Io stomped her into submission. She's like hanging in a tree of woe type of thing with her feet in the ladder and the rungs, and she's hanging upside down, and then Io's just stomping a mud hole into her head, her face, chin. I'm surprised her head didn't pop off, you know. And Io does scale the ladder with Lyra in that position, but Lyra uses that core strength. She rises back up, you know, lifts herself up, grabs Io, and delivers a tarantula German suplex, dropping Io, but is taken out by a simple yet effective kick by Zoe. Zoe was like a fly. Like, she would just be buzzing around and boom, buzzing around, boom. You know what I mean? Splits are a best friend to Naomi. Good thing she's that flexible, because she was in a full split position on two ladders. They set up two ladders. Her foot was over here, her foot was over there. The ladders were getting separated, and she's being shown why she's like the Jean-Claude Van Damme of WWE in the women's division, because she was full split. I'm thinking that would hurt me, but with her, it's probably another day at the office. And then out of that, she delivers a DDT to Zoe Stark, and Naomi would answer the crowd as they're chanting for tables all day, and she does get the tables. But I must say, the tables are set up, two ladders in the ring. Naomi and Chelsea are battling out under the MITB Money in the Bank briefcase, and then Green delivers a modified Unpretty Her to Naomi onto the prone ladder, and man, that was sick. Now Zoe's looking to unclip the briefcase, but Io says no way as she stops her and battles for that briefcase, and they make a sickening thud as they land on the prone ladder as Io looked to deliver a pile driver type slam on Stark. It's just like something just came out of her head. He said, I'm going to deliver this move. She probably told Zoe, like, as you know, these guys talk match. They talk to while they're doing it. They go over the moves. They go over something in the ring. She probably told her, "I'm gonna slam you. Just prepare, protect your neck, protect whatever." And then she did it. And this leaves Chelsea Green to climb the ladder, and the crowd is cheering her on. I was, but Tiffy stops her and sends her crashing through the two tables that they actually both set up earlier. They were like colluding with each other. They set that table up, and you know someone's gonna go through that table. It's just like when you make a bridge from the apron to the announce desk, someone's gonna go landing or crashing into that ladder. And it is indeed Tiffy Time as Tiffany Stratton unclips the briefcase and becomes Miss Money in the Bank, or as she said later backstage to Trish Stratus, Miss Tiffy in the Bank. I think she just said Tiffy in the Bank, but people are coming up with, different terminologies, Yeet in the Bank and Master in the Bank and all that, And then during that backstage interview, Tiffany Stratton tells her that ain't it a shame that her time is over, talking to Trish, and that her time, Tiffy, it's her time has just begun. Congratulations to Miss Tiffany Stratton. Let's see what she does with that briefcase and how long she holds on to it and how long she teases the champions and hangs it over their head. At any time she can cash that in. We'll see. Now, it's main event time as Solo Sikoa leads the Bloodline into battle. This was a very, very good match. I don't like multi-man matches because of the insane chaos of it. It's all over the place. You got to be able to tell a good story with a multi-man match, and they did so here. Let's get into it. And the forever fountain of information, not misinformation, Cole has a lot of good anecdotes and a lot of good, fact bits, factoids, if you will. And according to Cole, strings had to be pulled to get Jacob Fatu into the country because he is that dangerous. Okay. I mean, if he was allowed into the country, Jey Uso should be able to. Jey Uso, I think what it was because of his, like I said before in the by SmackDown video, that he's had all these DUIs and stuff like that. And that's nothing compared to what Jacob Fatu is. I don't know what his past history is or kayfabe what he's done. But now let's move on. Their opponents. First KO, then the Viper, who 20 years ago won his first world title here in Toronto. Who did he win that against? The man whose name should never be brought up, and I won't bring it up here, but we all know who that is. And then finally, the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes arrives and let the battle begin. Then KO is staring daggers into the Bloodline as the crowd sings to Orton, which I don't mind because they weren't doing this all day. They weren't singing here and chanting there for no reason. And then the fuck you Solo chants start. KO, at the beginning, when he was introduced and came into the ring, he just stepped right up to the Bloodline. And he didn't give two fucks about him. He didn't care about his safety. He just said, I'm showing you guys that I am not going to back down. And it looks like that the champ and the leader of the Bloodline will lock up, but Solo says, nah, and tags in Tama Tonga. The usual bit that we see, right? We're going to get that match. All right. And then as Cody tags in KO, he immediately goes to town on Tonga, laying a beat down on Tama Tonga in the corner. And then Cody tags in and takes it to Tama. And then the Viper is tagged in. And Tama Tonga is being beaten like a government mule, as the great JR would say. And the Samoan Werewolf is finally tagged in. Intensity follows him, and he rushes Orton, who sidesteps him as he goes to the outside, but immediately is caught on the second ropes, and in vintage Orton style delivers the draping DDT. But Fatu gets up immediately. Those Samoans with their hard heads, looking like Umaga in his eyes and yelling like a madman. Really, really him and Solo, but more of Jacob Fatu really, really just channeling their late uncle Umaga. Now he drops Orton with a Samoan drop and follows that up with a stiff kick. It sets him up for his tribal chief. Like sacrifice, like offering up like a sacrificial lamb. And now he is being beat down in the corner as the "We Want Owen" chants are heard. And I like that Graves mentioned that Jacob Fatu's dad is the Tongan kid, Samuel Fatu, who, along with Solo's dad Rikishi, he ruled WWE back in the day. I believe they were the Samoan SWAT team together, you know. And Jacob Fatu's dad, Tongan kid, he was tag team partners in the Islanders along with Haku, who of course we know as the dad of Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. And Tangaloa was actually ringside, but he was looking spiffy in his suit and looking all professional. He wasn't involved in this match. Now KO is tagged in and picks up where he left off as he cleans house, knocking both Solo and Jacob off the mat, and does deliver a swanton to Tama Tonga, but Jacob breaks that up. He breaks up that attempted pin by KO and takes over and tags in Solo. And from this point on, the Bloodline are having their way with KO and destroying him. Even Tonga Loa is getting involved, and as he takes out Orton and Cody is down and out. The thing about KO is that he took a sick hip attack in the corner by Jacob Fatu. I'm surprised that, KO's head didn't snap off and end up in the front row, or even in the lap of Cole. That was sick the way he took that. And kudos on him, because he's a tough motherfucker. He took a lot of punishment, and you would think, damn, why is he not knocked out yet? But he's a tough guy. Now KO fights back. Fight Owens fight, right? We know that about him. But to no avail, as the Bloodline know how to answer KO's aggression. Both men tag out as Cody and Solo finally get at each other, and Cody hits Solo with a disaster kick and hits Tama with the Cody Cutter and takes out Fatu, sending him over the top rope, clotheslining him, and he nails Solo with a suicide dive. And then he goes to the other side and nails Tonga Loa with a suicide dive. And then sends Jacob Fatu over the barricade. He crashes onto the ringside doctor. No one is safe. I mean, no one is safe. And as the official gets taken out in the ring, and Cody delivers Crossroads, but no official to make the count. But KO delivers a frog splash as Cody directs traffic. Orton looks to deliver an RKO and does. No ref, however, and Cody looks to clear off the announce table and is set to deliver a triple power bomb. But Fatu delivers kicks, laying out the opposition, but ends up taking out the ref as he runs into the post. The ref is there standing groggy, and as Jacob Fatu tries to rush one of the guys, his opponents, he inadvertently squashes the ref into the ring post. Poor guy, taking a lot of punishment. Now Tama gets a stunner. KO splashes through Fatu, destroying the announce table. Holy fuck, is this match insane. And then KO is left standing as everyone else is laid out, but KO is back in the ring with Tama Tonga. And I believe KO was going to do a package pile driver on Tama Tonga, but his bro, Tonga Loa, low blows KO. He actually hit Tama Tonga in the head, but he did do the job. I'm sure that Tama Tonga's going, bruh, why did you hit me, man? You should make sure my head wasn't in there. I think you knocked me out. And then Orton gets back in and RKO's Tonga Loa. Thanks for coming, Tonga Loa. And he hits another one on Tama Tonga, but Solo gets back in and delivers a Samoan spike to Orton, taking him out. Cody intercepts a Samoan spike and delivers Crossroads for the second time on Solo. One before this one, he goes for a second one, but then Jacob Fatu dives off the top rope, takes out Cody with a whisper in the wind like move, kind of reminiscent not only of Jeff Hardy, but remember that the Usos do that too. And then an implant DDT follows that, and Fatu drags his tribal chief up and offers Cody to Solo, this time really as a sacrificial lamb. And Solo tells Cody to acknowledge him, and he delivers an emphatic Samoan drop and pins the champion, and this should set him up for a title shot, perhaps at SummerSlam. If you're thinking how they were going to do that, he says he was going to get the title and bring it back to the family. This is the way to set it up. This is the point right now where he should be in the talks of being the next contender. Now, will he take the title back? Or will Roman be the one to do so? I think he has a rematch, right? But people want to see Solo versus Roman for that title. So maybe, Solo will take the title. SummerSlam? Cody, his story was always to win the title. His story is not having the title for 1,000, 2,000 days. A long title reign. That's a once in a lifetime. It might won't be another 20 years before someone else does that. It could be a future, I don't know why, wrestling member that's going to be the one that does that. When you see Roman and all these guys now are all long retired. And if they're not, they're going to be like the managers or the advisors to the new generation, right? But very, very good match. Very physical. Not all over the place. These guys really, it was really well produced, and it was a really good match. These guys all just gel. They all just came together and really pulled it off. And you know how the Samoans are very nice people, right? And they probably are, after the match and everything, they probably got together and said congratulations, man, and high fives and all that stuff, because I don't know, the way the Tongans are portrayed, I mean, are they really like that? Or they're probably the nicest guys. I don't know about their reputation. I know I've seen videos of Solo, and he is a sweet guy. He's a very good guy, So I don't know, because usually, like in movies and all that stuff, the people that play the villains are really the nice guys in real life. So, who knows, right? If they had a drink over it and congratulated each other, because they should. Everybody should congratulate themselves. To me, I honestly think that the match I enjoyed the most was the women's Money in the Bank. I think the best match was the main event, because it was just amazingly brutal, intense. You believed everything you saw. You believed that these guys were being hurt, and that these guys were at the peril, KO and his guys, at the peril of the Bloodline. But then the Bloodline was being manhandled at times too, because that Cody and KO and Orton are not going to back down. They're not going to let up. They have a lot of reasons to want to take it to the Bloodline and give them some payback. This match was just excellent. The pay-per-view, everything was great. This is how you do it. I think Money in the Bank last year was a great pay-per-view too. Probably one of the top, if not one of the best ones last year. This one, so far, is the best one. I have no complaints. The crowd was rowdy, but at the same time, they kept it to a minimum. Because why? Because they only did it when it was necessary. They're not like these other foreign crowds. So I get it. You don't get pay-per-views that often, if at all, in your country. So you're going to be extra rowdy. But don't be extra annoying with it, because that's how it was. This one, no. These guys, they kind of went a little too far with singing for Orton. They kept doing it even after the announcements were done and everything before the match. But it's like, I don't care. It was all good. I mean, I might be talking about SmackDown, but at the same time, they didn't go overboard. I know people look at me and go, you're weird, dude, because why does that bother you? Well, because I'm hearing it. I'm listening to it. I don't like hearing that. When it's not sincere, when it's not a part of the show in a sense. Do it when it's necessary, when it makes sense. I know that that's hard for a lot of people to digest. So what do you mean when it's time? They should always be able to cheer and complain. Yes, they should be able to. When people say that, I'm going, yes, they should be able to. They should be allowed to. But at the right time. Because it makes you sound like you're just doing it for yourself. A little, like I said in my SmackDown video, a Barry Horowitz pat on the back, because look what I did. Not because I did it because, I'm with the match and everything. You see people, I swear. I've brought this up time and again, and I will continue to bring it up. You see people looking at each other, look at what I did. Who cares what you did? It's not about you, stupid. It's about the event. It's about being down with everybody else who weren't cheering at that point, and you guys are. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. But like I said, here, no complaints. None whatsoever. You will not hear me complain, not one iota, about this great PLE. I may have said pay-per-view earlier. But like I said, kudos all around. Congratulations to everybody. Good job. You guys made it possible to, you know, at least enjoy a pay-per-view event, a PLE event, where sometimes you're disappointed with other times that they present a PLE or a pay-per-view in AEW's case. But now we're excited. What's next? What's going to go down now? Solo beats the champion, pins the champion. Is he the next one in line? This is the way, like I said, to get him in line for a title shot and possibly dethroning Cody Rhodes, and then that sets up for Roman Reigns' return, getting his revenge on their attack on Paul Heyman, and also the unceremonious removal of Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. He's going to make Solo Sikoa pay, and we're all going to be, you know, fortunate enough to see that. Because if Roman Reigns, they wanted him to be a babyface before, pushing it down our throats, well, this time you don't even need to do that, because everybody is anticipating his return. They're going to accept him as a babyface, and he's going to get probably one of the biggest pops that you'll ever see upon his return. But anyway, that is my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. I thank you very much. I thank you for your support. I've noticed some upticks in my subscriber count. Those of you who stopped by, who subscribed, thank you for doing so. Hope you enjoy my videos, and hopefully you continue to go along this ride with me and this journey with me as I, you know, talk about all things WWE, and I'll say even all things AEW. I enjoy both. And well, that's that. So again, thank you for stopping by and checking out my channel. And until next time, take care, and I will see you in my next video.